Hi, friends. It's Salt. If you're new here, this channel is all about salt. Salt is the alchemical element of transformation. Salt cleanses, it heals, and it transmutes energy just like you do. This channel finds the rare archetypes who move through life differently. So if you found this, I'm really honored to have you and really just be one of the few who gets to see and reflect you properly. This reading is going to be interesting, I think. I have been getting so many weird, abstract messages lately that even I feel like incredibly confused. I don't know if this is because more people are tuning in, so I'm kind of getting these energies from all over the place, but deciphering and picking the most important message is challenging at times. Let me give you an example with last night. I had this wild dream, and usually I can tell the difference between my own subconscious processing, like personal things, and then the collective channeling because they're very distinct, right? So here's the collective channel that was very distinct that I got. It was an abstract vision and theme that came through for all of you, and it was in the form of an ant invasion. In this dream, it was just a ton of ants that just wouldn't quit their invasion. There was no measure or force that was strong enough to stop these ants. And it was like collectively trying to stop these ants. Not myself personally, I'm not in these kind of dreams, but I don't know if that's literal for some of you, like you are dealing with ants right now. That could be something, but I think abstractly, if we zoom out, an invasion or energetic force of some kind could be what resonates. At first, when I got this, I was like, okay, usually I have an idea of what spirit is alluding to, but I had to kind of like sit with this message for a little bit because it just felt very emotionally real and emotionally like devastating. Later during meditation, more clarity came to me about this, about what's needing to be channeled, because I literally could not meditate for the first time in many years. And I was filled with like thoughts that kept penetrating me. It did feel like that ant invasion all over again. So I want that to kind of stay in your mind. I have no idea where this is going to go. I just want you all to be on that emotional wavelength with me as I pull cards, because I do believe that that invasion theme is going to be the most dominant energy here of this collective, and we're going to find out why together. Another thing is and this came through as I was kind of mentioning all of this, is I'm getting the feeling that allergies could be really important to some of you. And I feel like that goes hand in hand with this invasion energy, right? Because it's like out of your control. You're super aware of how it impacts you. It's like very obviously in your face, but you don't have control over it. So I'm getting like a chronic cough or ear issues could be important for some of you. So that just came through randomly. I don't know if I'll revisit that or not. But so the message here from Spirit seems to be really similar to the energy of my last couple of readings. This is just taking a different shape, but it is presenting as overall discomfort for bad feelings again as a whole. I pulled the moon card and I've just been kind of like sitting with this for a little bit. It feels really important, and I'm being drawn to two transits here as checkpoints for the collective that this resonates with and has been resonating with. It's also giving timelines where you're being given more specific dates. I think that that is something that maybe some of you, whether you have to me directly or you've been asking your guides for like specific dates, like you need some sort of like guidelines or guidance in that way. And this is how I think Spirit is giving that to you, is through these astrological transits and moon transits for this reading specifically. So what's being presented here is there's a beginning quarter moon and a full moon. And I'll leave those transit details in the description for your reference for those of you who are asking for that guidance. I'm being presented as an opening with this quarter moon and then a climax with this full moon as like the peak point. So it's kind of like the two are going hand in hand for you. And they're both important for how this resonates. During the quarter moon in Scorpio, what I'm picking up is you might feel the peak of heavier acknowledgement to something that's been holding you back that is important to this. And it seems like it's causing more friction in this time. During the full moon, it will reach like that climax of, okay, this is either unbearable and I need to change, or it'll be the point in which the friction kind of like settles because you've made that cumulative effort during those peaks. Then, interestingly, you're being kind of given the choice to embrace that comfort, I think, with this Aquarius full moon because it's powerful. When it comes into view, it is like you either let go or you hold on tighter. Those are kind of like the options being presented to you. Those who let go might have more clarity and insights during this time, is what I'm being shown. So now a person's coming through, and I don't really feel like I described what you have to let go of. Maybe I'll get back to that. But a person attached to you is coming through as I described all that. And they're heavily in your energetic field. They seem to be existing in a place of like no fear, and this feeling of like gratefulness is like coming through. Like it almost feels like the paradox here, or like the contrast between these two energies, is you're struggling with friction to feel grateful, as where this energy seems to not care. There's no friction there, whether they're grateful or not grateful. They're just existing in this like space of who cares kind of thing. It seems very careless in their energy, truly. And there's a lot of like maybe lack of awareness. Maybe there's blissfulness that comes from that, is what I'm kind of getting. What I'm getting is the interesting contrast here is that these moon transits will have opposite effects on you and this person in your field. They will, while you'll be encouraged to release this friction, this person will be encouraged to grasp on more to friction. So I'm sensing like that shift between timelines here. Like it's your turn to release these burdens, and now your counterpart has this karmic obligation to kind of hold that for their transformation. And I know some of you, this is just a side note, but I know some of you, you don't really like when I get negative things about the person that you care deeply for, and because you don't wish bad or ill on them. I totally understand that. But I do want to offer the perspective that negative experiences are necessary for growth for you and the individuals attached to you. So it's not that you wish harm on them. It's that this wheel keeps spinning, especially during attachment. When you're attached to someone energetically, there might be karmic lessons that are being balanced between the two of you. It's not that they deserve the friction. It's just kind of the way the scales balance. One side holds, the other side releases, the other side holds, one side releases. And it does that until there is detachment, true detachment. So it's just offering a perspective that there is no true negative or positive for anybody. It's just lessons. What I'm kind of being presented with is Spirit is alluding to the more that you resist these feelings, the more that they're going to build or kind of get worse. The resistance to these feelings is strengthening the bond, this connection, this energy connection, and prolonging these cycles of hold and release that I just explained. So I'm feeling that this is like one of those surrender type of messages, but with a very specific spin to it. It is allowing these bad feelings to exist as they do naturally. And that kind of comes with the surrender of like to the ant invasion, like allowing them to just invade. It feels like you need to be told this specifically, that you're allowed to want more, and that doesn't make you ungrateful for what you have. That might seem irrelevant to this message, but it almost feels like the resistance exists here because you're forcing yourself to be happy or grateful when you're just not. It's almost like that I should be grateful feeling is perpetuating this lack of happiness overall. It's like the more you resist to sitting with the fact that you're just not grateful or happy right now, and it's just a temporary thing, the more ungrateful you get long term. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have things to be grateful for. It doesn't mean that your life is inherently bad. It's just a new way to look at this through a different lens of like what you're specifically rejecting in your daily energy and how that specific resistance is just showing up for you. The Aquarius full moon here is like the peak point of, are you fully okay with sitting with, okay, this sucks, and it's okay to just not be grateful right now? That doesn't mean that bad things are going to come to me. That doesn't mean that I'm manifesting badly. It just means that I'm fully accepting that feeling, and it's okay to have that feeling. That's a part of me. Like, it feels like Spirit really, really, really wants you to know that there is a perpetuating cycle here with the more that you resist these feelings, the more that you don't just sit with, okay, this sucks, the more that it will happen to you, which is something that isn't talked about a lot because in spiritual communities, there's such a focus and fixation on manifestation, on attracting energy, and you feel like you have to be perfect all the time, and you don't. You're human. So very strong, very specific message, I think, today. And also Scorpio moons, Spirit is like winking at you, I think, today a little bit. This last part is, I think some of you already intuitively know to do this, but keep leaving comments. The comments themselves do not have to be anything specific or personal to you. Think of these as energetic nudges for me to align with your energy. It helps me channel for you more efficiently, and I want to be able to do that. I read each and every one always, and I am so thankful for all of you. So, cheers, friends.